Hi, Carly. This is Mike with Thrive, and welcome to your October SEO performance report. Just as we have done in prior months, we put together several key performance indicators, and we do this to track our performance and also keep an eye on the overall health of the website. So, diving right in, our first key metric that we evaluate is our top 5 keywords. Our top 5 keywords are keywords and queries that are rendering positions 1 through 5. That's the first page of the Google search results. Looking at our data, we had a slight increase over last month from 33 to 35. Again, that's an all-time for the last, in comparison to last October at 21. So that was great to see, and we're maintaining that gain that we experienced back in May. So fantastic news that things are really stable and we have some consistency going across the board here with regards to our top 5 keywords. Let's take a look at what they are, some of the volume, and then some of the movement that occurred in the last 30 days. Here, as you can see, the keywords to the actual, to the left, followed by the search engine results and the type of results here. The current position that it resides in, followed by the change in the last 30, the amount of competition based on how many ads are occupying the space given the query, volume in search per month, and then our cost per click all the way down here, very right. And we'll use this column to determine relevancy from an SEO standpoint. So looking at our keywords, we then categorize them in 2 flavors, one being our branded. So this is going to contain Earthlok and or product and or a location. It's important to maintain those top positions for those branded terms. These are individuals that are doing additional research. They're either word of mouth or they're returning customers or returning users. Any one of those situations, you want to make sure that you're ranking at the very top and you have the most prominent exposure in the search results. And that's been the case. We've actually seen an uptick in the cost per click in terms of Earthlok. So that indicates us that we're building some solid equity. And we have variations of our branded terms, all ranking in the top positions. And as you can see here, we're rendering for quite a number of real estate. As you see, a lot of our site links, the local pack results, combined with our traditional organic results, video results, and featured questions. So very diverse in terms of the branding, branded keywords, diverse in terms of the types of results as well. So that's great to see. And that's been the case, other than picking up some additional search results along with maintaining the ones that we already have. The second flavors are non-branded, so that's not going to have Earthlok. These are all going to be service-oriented keywords. So these users are not familiar with your brand just yet. So looking a notable gain for soil stabilization Houston, moving up 1 position to number 1, also presenting itself within the local results there. Not a whole lot of volume with that, but I would say that if we did get traffic from that, it would be extremely relevant. Some additional movement as well. 2 positions for soil injection for foundation. That's very specific. Soil injections, that's a little on the vague side, moving up 2 positions to number 2. So soil injections could represent informational search as well as search with a little bit more intent behind it. So we'll be tracking that and its performance. Groundlock foundation, that's interesting because that's a branded term for another type of foundation. But interesting to see that ranking at number 2, picking up within the search results just recently. A little negative movement there in terms of importance of soil stabilization, moving down 1 position to number 3. And then pretty stable from 3, 4, and 5. Some interesting volume with soil stabilizer. So I've been keeping an eye on that. And our cost per click is pretty decent at $2.08. So looking overall at our keyword mix, maintaining our top positions in terms of the branded keywords while picking up some additional search types and then some incremental gains in terms of our non-branded keywords. So overall, you can see the stability from our 3KM report and how that came about. So excellent to see. I'd like to see a little bit more expansion in terms of a few more of these long tail keywords. We do have some movement in our deeper pages when looking at the overall scan. So I'll be adding those to this report so we can note the movement and trace the traffic and conversions that we receive from those queries. Our next key metric is total traffic. Total traffic is measured in sessions, and a session is a visitor that goes to more than one web page within the site. Looking at our traffic for October, we finished at 1714. Not an all-time record overall, but an all-time for October, outpacing last year's traffic, and a month-to-month gain over September, up from 1363. Let's take a little deeper dive into that traffic. We can look at the individual sources that contributed to this mix, and then we can take a dive into our conversion data thereafter. I loaded our SEO progress report in this screen. You can see we're covering year over year specifically. Traditionally, we like to look at both of those to really determine what's going on long term. Year over year, we'll have a lot of those degrees of seasonality, especially in a holiday month like November and December. But we also want to look at the month-to-month progression as well. So in this screen, we're looking year over year. Again, our all traffic 1714, that's up 21% over last year from 1409. You can see that differential again with our three key metrics. Organic specifically was up 13.23%, up from 1,066 sessions to 1,207. So a moderate uptick in growth year over year. Every channel was green, which is awesome. I love when I see this. This is like it's like my, this is a thing to be celebrated in SEO. But as you see, organic, direct, referral is starting to build back and build back over year. And even our social, note the amount of sessions, but still a lot better than what we were doing a year ago. Also with our goal completions, as you can see the notable gains there as well. But again, all green across all the sources. So I love when that happens. That's awesome. And then looking specifically, we did see some interesting growth with some of our landing pages here. As you see, the how to build on clay outpacing the actual homepage, which is great. This is fine. It's also attributed to a lot of the site links that you saw that are offering direct links to that specific content that they were querying. So that's a better user experience because the user is finding what they were looking for faster. So we do see some fluctuation in some of the pages. But again, most of our landing pages, a lot of the blog content starting to rank here, starting to produce more sessions, specifically looking year over year. And then concluding with our conversions and leads, we were up 6 from 4, and our conversion rate, interestingly enough, still pretty dismal, which is kind of shocking to see. So I went ahead and started I know we had some issues with the contact form submissions and that type of stuff. But again, overall, a year ago, up 25%, but still, I want to see this over 1%. And again, it's really balancing the informational searches with searches that have more of, intent to either give you their information or, they're interested in your actual service. They're not just looking for information or how to DIY, repair their foundation themselves. So balancing that, we will get a much better conversion rate. And again, with our stability in our keywords and then developing some specific content that really captures more of those long tail variations, that's going to give us some more relevant traffic that has that intent behind it. So that's the goal for the rest of the year. Structurally, the site is fine. All the technical elements are 100% running normally. So now it's about really expanding the reach, getting you some more traffic, potentially looking at some other surrounding areas. So I'll be putting together a strategy plan in terms of the remainder of the year centered around the content that we plan to develop. And of course, Carly, your participation is always welcome. So let me know if there's something specific you'd like to mention for the end of the year, anything that's going on company wise. Um, Again, your participation is always welcome. So please let me know. Again, that concludes our report for this month. Thank you, Carly, for your participation. I always welcome it. Also, thank you for being a client. Myself and Thrive really appreciates it. And I hope you have a pleasant rest of your week. Thanks.